Hi, my name is Carlos Rodriguez, student of Engineering Management course. Today I will be presenting my proposal for the Granulation Glass Process Improvement Project. As an introduction, I currently work for a pharmaceutical plant as operations lead of the granulation area. Our granulation area is basically composed of 6 different work centers, from the weighing, the solution preparation, the charging process, the granulation process, which takes place in the glass equipment, the sieving, and the blending processes. Currently, the granulation process is our most critical process. It takes roughly around 2 hours and 40 minutes, and basically it composes all of the ingredients and creates granules. Okay, this is done through suction air, through air volume, specific temperature, and with agglutinating solution at a constant spray rate. So currently, our glass process is our bottleneck in our granulation facility. So roughly we're making 2 lots per shift, which is basically not competitive in regards to what other plants in the market are doing. So our problem statement is focused around the glass process or manufacturing process and how we can increase the plant volume to increase obviously the lots per shift. So how are we going to do this? Our current recipe, or the validated process, takes roughly around 2 hours and 40 minutes. As part of my project, I will not be touching any validation processes. However, current changeover between lots takes roughly around 60 minutes. So if we can reduce the changeover time by 50%, we will be able to increase the lots per shift, the plant value, for the glass manufacturing process by 20%. So this is basically our objective as part of this project. How will we do this? We will use the Six Sigma tool of DMIC, and this will be the method used, basically with define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So we have already defined our problem statement, and so basically we are in the phase of data collection. So our current plant volume, we have to establish where we are and where we want to move forward to. Currently in my plant, we use electronic batch records. So it is easy to collect this data and evaluate what the changeover times are currently at. And this is, as I mentioned, the time between each manufacturing lot. So once we establish how much it's taking between each lot in this changeover time, we need to analyze and see what tasks are being performed during this changeover time. So basically, it's the reconciliation process of the lot that you're finishing. We have a minor cleaning of the nozzle. The nozzle basically is the instrument used for the spraying of solution during the process. And also we have the setup process for the next upcoming lot. In addition to this, all of these 3 tasks require documentation. So basically the 60 minutes that I mentioned earlier are composed of these tasks. So once we analyze all of these individual activities and what the time that they are being dedicated, we need to establish how we can improve and decrease this changeover time. This can be done by identifying where areas of opportunity where we can reduce documentation. Also, we can identify activities that we can perform in parallel that will also reduce the changeover time. Once we establish these projects, documentation reduction, maybe an additional nozzle activities that will reduce significantly the changeover time, we will then monitor to see, in our control phase, to see if the objectives were achieved, and if we have any adjustments to make, then this will be the period to do this. Okay. Also, we will establish during this period what our benefits are in terms of efficiency, of greater efficiency in the granulation process. Increases obviously the capacity for the plant in terms of volume. So how will we do this project? Basically, it has been divided into an 8-week time frame, where the first week, which will be this upcoming week, we will focus on the collection of data. Basically, as I mentioned before, we will go into electronic batch records, collect data, see where we are today in terms of lots per shift and in terms of change over time. After this, we will analyze the data and establish areas of opportunity and projects or initiatives to improve or reduce documentation and identify activities that we can perform in parallel or activities that have no value added. Once we analyze the data, we design the improvements. Here in my manufacturing plant, to make any changes to documentation or to batch record, it will have to go through a change control process. In addition to this, if we would to acquire any new equipment or any significant anything that requires cost, it would be purchased during this period. Finally, once all the projects are approved in terms of implementation, we will move to train all the personnel that will be participating. Mainly in this process will impact supervisors and the personnel, the operators that perform these tasks. Week 6, we will finally go live. We will implement all the changes and begin to control and monitor to see if the time that we had proposed initially was reduced, and obviously measure it against our success measures. Basically, this is my project proposal. Feel free to contact me or give me any feedback, questions, suggestions.